Maybe you've felt this before. That strange sense of standing still in the middle of your own life, with no idea where to go. It isn't exactly sadness. It isn't depression. It's something else. It's the feeling of having no direction. Like someone who reaches a crossroads and realizes the signs have all faded. You look one way, and you don't know. You look the other, and you don't know either. And while you hesitate there, standing still, everyone else seems to walk past with such certainty. People who know what they want. People who chose a path and follow it firmly. People who seem to have been handed a map you never received. And then comes the question that hurts the most. What's wrong with me? Why does everyone else seem to know the way, and I'm the only one who's lost? Let's stay with that feeling for a moment, because it's far more common than it seems. We grow up hearing one question, repeated in 100 different forms, from the time we're small. What do you want to be when you grow up? And that seemingly innocent question plants a silent idea inside us. The idea that there's an answer, a right answer, a destiny already written somewhere, waiting to be discovered. And that the people who have it all figured out are the ones who found that answer early. Meanwhile, whoever hasn't found it yet carries a kind of secret shame. The shame of not knowing. The shame of having nothing to say when someone asks, "And you, what do you want from life?" And the more time passes, the heavier that shame grows, because another fear comes with it. The fear of having wasted years on the wrong path. The sense that, while everyone else moved forward, you kept walking in circles. But I want to invite you to look at this differently. Because maybe there's a confusion right at the center of this suffering. We treat being lost and not having a map as if they were the same thing, but they're not. Think of someone who is truly lost. Someone lost has ended up somewhere they shouldn't be. They left the route. They drifted away from the destination. But to be lost like that, there has to be a single right path. And that's exactly the idea worth questioning. What if there were no single right path waiting for you? What if life weren't a map where you have to find the predefined road, but open ground, where the path takes shape as you walk? Notice the difference. If there's a finished map, not knowing where you are is failure. But if the path is made by walking, not knowing yet is only the beginning. It's the natural state of someone who hasn't walked far enough to see the trail appear. Having no map is not being lost. It's being at the start. And there's a far more honest word for what you feel. You're not lost. You're searching. And searching is a way of moving. Whoever searches is not standing still. Whoever searches is already walking without realizing it. Let me tell you about Anna. Anna was nearly 40 when she realized she couldn't take it anymore. It wasn't the tiredness of one bad day. It was a deeper kind of tiredness. She'd worked in the same field for almost 15 years. She had stability. She had a position other people admired. She had, on paper, a life that many people wanted. And even so, every morning, she felt a weight as she opened her eyes, as if she were living someone else's life. One day, she finally found the courage. She quit, and for a few hours, she felt an immense relief. But the relief didn't last, because soon the silence came, and the silence brought a question she had no answer to. Now what? Anna had imagined that once she let go of what made no sense, the meaning would appear, that the right direction would surface, clear on the other side of the decision. But it didn't happen that way. On the other side, there was only an emptiness, a stretch of ground with no signs. She spent months there, not knowing what she wanted, waking up with nowhere to rush off to, watching friends move ahead in their careers, and feeling left behind, thinking again and again that she'd made the biggest mistake of her life, that now, truly, she was completely lost. What Anna didn't notice, in those hard months, is that she wasn't standing still. With no clear direction, she started doing small things. She agreed to help a friend with a project. She went back to drawing, something she'd abandoned as a teenager. She talked to people in fields she didn't even know existed. None of it was a plan. None of it had a destination. They were just steps. Steps in the dark, taken by someone who didn't know where she was going. And it was exactly by walking like that, with no map, that something began to take shape. Not all at once, not as a revelation, but like a trail that appears little by little beneath your feet. Today, Anna does work she couldn't even have named back then. Work that grew out of a combination of things she only discovered because she was lost. If you asked her what the plan was, she'd tell you the truth. There was no plan. There was only the courage to keep walking without seeing the whole path. There's a line by the Spanish poet Antonio Machado that seems made for moments like these. Traveler, there is no path. The path is made by walking. Stay with that idea for a moment. It doesn't say the path is hidden, waiting for you to find it. It says the path doesn't exist yet, that it only comes into being when you take the step. The ground ahead of you may look empty, and it really is empty, because the trail doesn't come before you. The trail comes behind. It forms in your footprints. And maybe that's why we feel so lost when we look ahead. We're searching the horizon for a path that will only exist after we walk. There was a man who understood this in the most extreme way. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl survived the concentration camps of the Second World War. In the middle of the worst human suffering, he noticed something. Those who lost the meaning of their life wasted away. But he realized that this meaning wasn't something you invented from within, nor something handed to you ready-made. For Frankl, it isn't we who ask life what its meaning is. It's life that asks us. And we answer not with words. We answer with the way we live, with the next gesture, with the next choice, with the next possible step. You don't have to figure out the meaning of your whole life today. You only have to answer what life is asking you right now. And this is where this reflection touches your day. Maybe you're waiting to see the whole path before you move, waiting to be certain, waiting for the map, but no one sees the whole path. Not even the people who look so sure. They're walking in the dark too. The difference is that they kept walking. So instead of asking, "What is the purpose of my whole life?" try a smaller question, and a far more honest one. What is the next step that makes some sense to me today? Not the perfect step, not the final step, just a movement towards something that sparks a little curiosity. A conversation, a book, an old skill you set aside, a door you always wanted to open. Not to solve everything, but so the trail can begin to appear behind you. Because that's how the path reveals itself. Never ahead, always after. And one day, further on, you'll stop. You'll look back, and you'll see, with surprise, a whole trail. A trail you didn't plan, one you couldn't see when you started, but that was, the whole time, forming beneath your feet. On that day, you'll understand one thing. You were never lost. You were making the path. So if today you feel without direction, breathe. You don't have to have the answer now. You don't have to see the end. The fog ahead of you isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's just what every person sees before taking the next step. Maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're exactly where the path begins. Right there, beneath your feet. See you on the next path.